Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Spiritual Grind. We hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to follow, hit the little bell for your notifications when the podcast is posted, and like, follow, and share with your friends. We hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment if there's any topics that you want us to speak about.
Like, follow, share.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenny. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Spiritual Grind.
Good morning.
We are here to provide our love and kindness to you through our words. We're projecting loving energy to everyone.
Loving energy.
Do. Well, thank you all for tuning back in to us. We appreciate you. And hey, we actually have a special request today.
We do. We've got one of our listeners giving us the topic today, which is cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And we're going to spend 30 minutes taking care of that for her. And we will see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
see how we can do it, because we're going to try to shorten our podcast a little bit, so you all know. We're going to try to shorten them down to 30 minutes, and we're not going to give less content. We're just going to do shorter podcasts. And so, just so you all know, be prepared. We're going to try to keep them below 30 minutes, because that is what the suggestion is for the podcast people.
We tried this once before in the beginning.
We did.
And
it worked for a while.
It didn't pan out.
No. And it turned into sometime. One of our podcasts was an hour and 50-something minutes.
Yeah, we had to break it up into
three things.
3 different little deals. So,
but anyway, hey, even for y'all that's been hitting the website, we appreciate y'all checking on our stuff. And hey, y'all hit that merch store. It's got some pretty cool stuff in there that Jenny has created, and I created too.
I was
made the
say,
cups. I did the tumblers.
You've written your own books, and you did the tumblers, and
yep, totally.
Your creative juices are embedded in it as well.
Yep.
So
anyway, y'all get that, and the fulfillment company will send all that to you. We have actually quality checked all of it.
Checked it. Not
all
to be confused with checkers.
Oh, or checky.
Or Chucky.
Yeah, or Trekkie.
Or Trekkie.
So here is the topic of the day. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So I find myself talking to people about how letting other people control your emotions gives them control over you, and how that lowers your vibration. And so
juicy.
It's a pretty heavy one. And like we were talking pre-podcast about, and my thing about that is one probably different from yours, and mine is about understanding that boundaries go in all directions and on every topics. And what I've always found is a lot of people, if they have a hard time with boundaries, they have a hard time specifically with emotional boundaries a lot more. And what I mean by that is they'll have a tendency to, especially if they're undiagnosed feelers, so to speak, they're going to feel other people's emotions. And so that will affect their reality and their emotions as well.
Everybody is feelers.
Okay.
Some people are just more consciously aware of the feelers. I think society likes to call it empath.
Yep, empathic.
Everybody has the ability to feel.
I heard somebody called something the other day too. What was that? Clear something. Anyway, continue on. Sorry.
Just to clarify that misnomer, everybody is feelers. The key to that is that some people don't choose to hear or listen to the feelings.
Okay.
They choose to ignore them. But everybody can feel.
Yeah.
Just that some of us have become more attuned to feeling not only our own energy, but other people's.
Yeah.
And so that's not a unrealistic gift or some special power that some of us have. It's just that some of us cultivated it and some of us ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you sit with it, you have the ability to feel yourself, then you have the ability to feel others.
Yeah. I remember when you and I first got together, you and I had lots of discussions about what we do with other people's energetic vibrations and emotional vibrations, and being an empath that you are, and how that affects your reality. And I think over the years, you kind of developed a very good practice of understanding that you don't have to accept that into your reality to allow it to lower your vibration.
Yeah, I mean, it's like any other thing that you're learning about your intuition and your air quote gifts.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out what works for you. You've got to figure out how to work with the thing. And the thing is the feelings.
Yes.
And if this is going to be a 30-minute thing, then we can't go too deep in it.
Yeah.
But I'll try to give just like a synopsis.
Yeah.
You know, for me, in the beginning, knowing that I could feel my stuff and other people's stuff, I had to really go through a training process of being able to differentiate the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the beginning, I was confusing other people's stuff for my own.
Yep.
And I couldn't figure out why. For example, one of the common examples that I would use is going out to start my day, being perfectly fine, feeling okay emotionally. And I get in the car, I'm at a red light, and all of a sudden,
you're pissed off.
I'm mad.
Right.
For no reason. Nothing has happened. Nothing was awry. Traffic was incredibly stupid. There was no reason for me to have. This was kind of the pivotal moment for me of where I said, this is not mine.
I think what you're describing here is great, by the way, because it's a way you identified the differences.
Right. I kind of came to that place where prior to that, all the emotions kind of got mixed up in the same bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't identifying what was mine out of that bowl and what was somebody else's.
Right.
I knew that I could feel all the energy, emotions of the world, and I knew that was a very noisy world. But this first time, I remember my day was going great. The kids had behaved appropriately. The hair did good. I felt really good when I left the house. There wasn't nothing wonky. No, it was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the car, get the kids dropped off, I'm headed to work, and I pull up to a red light. And within seconds, I'm mad. I have this anger about me, and for whatever reason, in that moment in time, I stopped and I said, wait a minute. I evaluated my morning and I was like, there is absolutely no reason why I should be this angry or this frustrated. It wasn't even frustration. It was the next level of anger.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
At this point.
Yeah.
It's a red light, minimal traffic. The morning went well, and I'm evaluating my whole day already that's transpired, and I can find no rational, valid reason why I have this much anger floating through my body.
Mm-hmm.
And in sitting there doing that, waiting for the red light, which at this point, it felt like it took hours for the red light to turn. I look over, and it was to my right through the passenger window. And this gentleman is sitting in the car, and quite obviously he's
angry. He's angry.
He's conversating, and I assumed on the phone. His hands are flailing about. He's hitting his steering wheel. He very obviously visually is showing angry body language. And for whatever reason, I came to that place of, oh my God, this is not even my emotion that I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so I logged that frequency of, this is somebody else's stuff that I am picking up on.
Right.
And so then from there, I started a journey of being able to more precisely identify what is mine and what is not mine.
Right.
And going into a practice, so to speak, in my own self of figuring out, okay, when it's not mine and I'm feeling it, what do I do with it then?
Right.
How do I process it? How do I eliminate it? How do I whatever? And one of the good suggestions that you had was creating
the tubes,
external tubes,
yeah,
so to speak, off of my aura
visually, yeah,
so that you could see when
Yeah.
they filled up with junk that wasn't mine and remind me to clear the tubes.
Yeah, clear your tubes.
So that's what the practice began as.
Yes.
Now, obviously, this many years into it, I can very quickly identify whether it's mine or whether it's not.
Right.
Process it, float it on to the universe. But I had to practice it.
Well, I think what you're identifying perfectly is that surprise vibrational energetic change when you do are allowing somebody else's emotions into your world, which is, I think that's what she's kind of talking about too in the comment.
Right.
And I think that is the great time. And you have pointed out to me over the years, and you've even asked me, how do I not allow those things to bother me?
But even still, I
still have times, but
you have times where it does bother you. And
agree.
I have to remind you just the same as you have to remind
100%
me
agree.
to clean your tubes or to brush it off. Because I would say that in yours and my journey, you came to me as almost a non-feeler.
Mm-hmm.
You ignored it.
Yeah, I still ignore a lot of it.
And you right. And you brush a lot of it off and are not allowing yourself quite to be as in tune to it as I am. And so that's kind of how I define you is you deal with it differently because you don't completely embody the emotion.
Well,
or
that's
the
100%. That's where a lot of people get confused because they feel like that if they're not loving, they shouldn't accept this emotional frequency from somebody else, or it's because it's unkind or it's unempathetic or that kind of stuff. And it's a human trap because you have to learn, like I have many over the years, is like you've identified me as a mallard. And the reason why is, I can be very empathetic and I can be very caring and understanding, but I choose to raise my vibration above that level because when you meet somebody at that same energy, that's already at a negative, in a lower vibrational place, now you're lowering your vibration. And so I myself don't do it that way. I will get caught off guard just like anybody else, most of them, but the majority of the time, I can be caring and loving and understanding and be empathetic, sympathetic. But when it comes to accepting their lower vibration, I always just bring myself above it. I basically tell myself, or in my subconscious mind will say, what can I do to help these people with a higher vibration? And that's where how I handle that scenario.
Right. But I think this person is actually looking for some steps prior to that.
Agreed.
Not from the perspective of, okay, we've figured it out. We've been dealing with it for years. We have our own individual routines that we go through to handle.
Right.
I think they're a little bit before that.
Yeah.
And so I think the conversation needs to be a change in perspective. They're not allowing someone to control their emotions.
Yes.
And take their power. what they're doing is they're having an emotional response to a situation that's going on that needs to be brought back to the awareness that if I'm having an emotion about a person, place, thing, situation, event, it is my responsibility to evaluate why that's triggering this uncomfortable emotion.
Yes.
And what do I want to do about it?
I think that's the
first step.
I agree. And identifying the trigger that will make it identifiable. I agree.
And then the second step is if there's nothing that you find that is triggering for you, is it mine?
Right. Agreed.
Is it that I'm picking up on their emotion?
Mm-hmm.
But be careful with that, because that can be a trip up point.
Mm-hmm.
If you constantly are saying, oh, this is not my emotion, then you're giving that monkey mind a place of non-accountability.
Yeah, totally.
And you won't heal and you won't expand and grow from it, because you're still using some bullshit excuse to not allow yourself to
have emotions. Yep.
Be accountable for an emotion.
Yeah.
So they definitely have different frequencies when you come to that place of learning how to identify them. But the trip up point is that anger of somebody else and anger of yourself have a finite feeling of difference.
Well, that's any emotion.
Right.
Yeah,
it is
it's not just anger.
Emotion.
Right. I know we're using anger as an example, but this is with any emotion, by the way, that Dr. Jenny's talking about.
That's right. And until you have practiced finding that frequency difference, your monkey mind can
run with it,
take you into a place of not being accountable when it is your garbage that needs to be.
100%.
You can always kick back to, oh, you know what? This is not my emotion. I give it back to whoever it belongs to. And then what happens is it'll get quiet for a little bit, but then it resurfaces every time you get triggered.
Right.
So you want to ask yourself some questions of accountability first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why am I feeling this emotion? Go back through your history maybe and find out, was there an event somewhere in my past that I'm hanging on to that created this similar feeling or this similar emotion, and that's why it triggered me?
Right.
Because no one has the ability to do anything to you. No one has the ability to take anything from you unless you're not being accountable for your own garbage. And that's where the power is changed or lost, or the feeling of the power being given away, or somebody else having the power over you, is that you're not being accountable for your own emotions and your own feelings inside of an event or something.
I think one of the things that you do is as soon as you have that emotion, you literally will just ask yourself, is that mine?
Right.
Yeah, because I hear you do that all the time now.
Right.
And that's in making it okay to, when you identify that, you know what, that is not mine.
Right.
Or making it okay that it is mine.
Yeah.
And when you because part of the comment is I see this in my world a lot lately. It may not be directly that this person is experiencing it, but she sees it in her reality.
Right.
And so other people are doing it as well.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that really helped a lot for me growing up, when I was growing up and going through all this journey in my life and the emotions and stuff, especially with some of the traumas and stuff I went through as a younger age, I learned to say, you know what, I'll have the emotion, I'll have the cause of the emotion, but I don't have to lower my vibration to this.
Right.
I can accept it. I identify it. I own it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going
Especially
to allow it to change me.
you own it if it's yours.
Right.
If it's not yours and you're feeling the emotion of others around you, then you don't claim it.
Right.
You figure out what works for you. Either you lovingly give it back to them and give yourself yourself permission not to completely embrace it and own it.
Yeah.
You just recognize it. And you don't have to know the why. Why can I feel other people's crap right now? You don't have to know the why. That'll be revealed to you as you learn how to, I guess, control it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason. There's a reason you can feel it if you're feeling it. But
Well, I think it's kind of human nature.
Of course.
I think it falls into that fight or flight area.
Of course. That's why I say everybody can do it. And everybody does it, whether they realize they do it or not, because it's a sense, like your senses, smoothing, smelling, seeing.
What was that first sense? Smoothing? Is that like, I don't know, smiling and teething at the same time?
No, it's smelling and seeing combined together. You're smoothing.
We're smoothing. We're going to go out and smooth, pardon us.
Your smoothability.
That's the eighth sense.
Well, that's where I was going with it. You know, you've got the sixth sense, but then you've also got an additional sense of feeling each other's emotions. That's why you walk into a room and you say, "Ooh, I'm not going over in that corner."
That's the flight.
And you say, "Oh, this corner feels much better." That's you sensing the emotional atmosphere of where you're at. You go into the office and you can tell if you just walked in on a post argument or a post lower vibrational interaction, whether you consciously are aware of it or not, you can tell the energy residual that's there. You do it all the time. People just don't realize they do it. That's why I say this is not some hidden special gift.
Agreed.
It's just that some people acknowledge it and are more aware of it.
And some people absorb it.
And some people are not aware of it and ignore it.
Yeah, I agree.
And what I'm trying to say is you don't even have to absorb it.
Right.
You can begin to teach yourself the frequency difference of, okay, is this mine? Am I being triggered because I had some sort of event that created this emotion and this is reminding me of that, and I'm correlating it to the like, for example, if you have embarrassment and you ask yourself, am I embarrassed or somebody else? Then you come to the realization that, okay, I'm embarrassed. Then when you ask yourself, okay, why did this moment trigger me? It may be that in your childhood you had a public speaking where you had to get up in the class, present your work that you did, and some of the kids made fun of you, and that embarrassed you.
Yeah.
And this gave up the same type of red flag because it triggered that memory, and the body automatically says, safety alert, this is not a safe situation. It's going to bring about this same emotion. Get out, get out, get out.
Yep.
In that fight or flight mechanism.
Kicks in. Yep.
We are going to go much deeper on this because then it eventually on another platform, this is a very beefy topic because then what happens is you realize that you've got all this shit in your fight or flight bucket that doesn't belong there.
Yeah. Right.
So,
but I think the one
essentially what I want to recap for this individual who has put the question out there is remembering no one is doing anything to you. You are constantly in control, and your awareness is what gives you back the control. And when you feel an emotion coming on inside your own body, you need to stop and ask yourself, why am I feeling this emotion in this situation? Is it mine? And if it is it coming about because it triggered a past experience that gave me this same uncomfortable feeling? And the body's naturally saying, oh, this has the characteristics of potentially recreating that, and I'm trying to keep you safe from feeling that. Or if it's not yours, figuring out what tools help you give it back to the person that it is, or give it to the universe to process, or whatever. is the way to work that and
Right. Oh, I
work through that.
100% agree with you, and I think what I also wanted to the comment or comment person, whoever left the comment, to understand that if you're seeing this in your reality is trying to show you something.
It's trying to tell you that it's time for you to work with this and nurture it
and find
cultivate
out, right.
it.
And I think another thing that they need to remember is that you don't have to accept the vibrational change unless it's yours.
That's right. That's why I say we are the ones that give our life meaning.
Right.
By the emotion that we tie to every single situation, circumstance, and event.
Right.
Otherwise, life has no meaning, literally, because we're the ones giving it the meaning.
Then we're just all
by
robots.
The emotion that we choose to tie to it.
Right.
Whether it be happy, mad, sad, frustrated, whatever, we're the ones choosing that emotion inside of us, and whether we tie it to this situation, circumstance, or event. Otherwise, life has no meaning, literally. Right. If some stranger walks by and doesn't speak to you while you're sitting on a park bench and they just cross your path and they mean nothing to you, they don't say anything disruptive, they don't interact, then you don't give it any emotional meaning to it. It just is. It is what it is.
I agree.
That's the way life is.
Yeah.
And until we give it that perceived emotional meaning is when it becomes either something that is mirroring to you that's ready to be looked at and addressed, or it's something to recognize that is good or yucky, yes, so you don't repeat it, or something to enjoy or whatever. We're the ones giving life meaning through our emotional guidance system.
Through our definitions.
Every single second of every single day.
Yeah.
So you're choosing to have an emotional response, and you get to choose what kind of emotional response you have in that. And when you when you embrace that and you come to the place of acknowledging that it's not happening to you, you're the one in control of that, then your power will naturally come back to you, because you'll go through each situation or circumstance or interaction with a human knowing, I get to choose how this emotionally affects me, because I get to choose my emotion within it. That person doesn't get to make me feel any kind of way if I don't want to.
Well, that's a thing in human nature that we do, especially when it comes to emotion and empathy of others. We have a tendency to find a common ground with that same emotional response that they're having. And like you just said, there could have been something that happened in the past that's bringing up a subconscious thought, which is making you have a bias to this emotional, energetic frequency.
You use that word a lot, and it always confuses me. I don't know what that means.
It basically, a bias means that it's something that your body is going to, or your thought process is going to actually automatically think to. And so you have to bring it to your identity, like you just talked about, or into your identifying it as how you did and describe it is how you remove the bias. And that's where your frequency gets lowered. So if you go into a conversation or you see a conversation between two people that is creating a lower vibrational state, it's because you are subconsciously biased to that emotion, because it's bringing up a belief system in your background that's going to make you mimic the same result, which lowers your vibration. You're accepting their frequency. And that's what you said. I just kind of worded it a little bit differently. And so
I don't know what that word is.
And so
it's hard for me to understand that word. You're
it's a sales
relating.
Word.
Yeah. I'm not buying anything.
Okay, it's biased.
I feel like it's creating confusion. So maybe say it differently, because I'm confused. Biased, not biased. I've always had trouble keeping that apart.
About the subconscious mind being lazy, and that's why I'm talking about that. It's like electricity finds the quickest point to ground. Water will find the quickest way to go downhill. And your subconscious mind will find the quickest way to find commonality with this person, without you thinking. It's a subconscious thought. That's a bias.
Oh, so what you're saying is if there's some sort of negative feeling or emotion that you're experiencing, it's because the person in front of you is feeling that and you've lowered your vibration to match theirs to relate to the situation.
No, I'm saying
something?
it's just the opposite. If it's not your emotion, you go into a conversation that somebody is bringing to you and suddenly you're allowing them to lower your vibration, then that is because you have found a way to find a common ground with that person in that emotion that you have had based from a previous experience or belief.
Okay, well, we're going to agree to disagree because you don't allow someone to lower your vibration. That's
there's
a
some
choice.
people. I know you don't. I'm talking about. They're talking about everybody.
No, I'm saying the mechanism doesn't work that way.
Okay.
You're not allowing anybody to do that. You're making a choice to do that yourself. You're making a choice to lower your vibration to meet the situation. The coming to the awareness that you're doing that, not that they're doing it to you,
right,
is the place of awareness where you want to be, because
that's what I just said. you just explained what I just said. I'm not saying that they're doing that to them. I'm saying that they are doing it to themselves because they're finding a common belief in there with that emotional vibrational change.
That's kind of not what you said, but okay.
Yeah, no, that's your okay.
You said that you're allowing them to lower your vibration.
No.
But I don't want to give the misinterpretation that they have the control to do things to you that you don't want done to you. I don't want to give that misrepresentation.
Okay, I'll have to review that and see, because that's not how I try to put it off. But exactly what I'm saying is if somebody comes into the room and you're not experiencing that emotion, and you are talking to this person with this emotion or with this vibrational frequency that's lower than where you currently are, and then you engage with this person, and then it lowers your frequency, it's because you have found a way through your subconscious mind, through your belief systems and your experience and your life patterns, has found a way to find common ground with that person in that emotional lower frequency, which in turn will lower your frequency.
Okay.
Is that not what I said the first time?
I don't know. I just don't want to give the impression that that's outside of that person's control.
No, I agree.
They're allowing their frequency to lower by their own choice and their own decision, even if it is subconscious and they're not aware that they're doing it.
Or even, like you said earlier,
the person that's experiencing the emotion is not doing something to them. That's the big thing that I want to make sure is very crystal clear, because I don't want them to get into a monkey situation where they can blame or put off that, oh, this person is doing this to me. I am not accountable and have no responsibility. I'm the victim.
I agree. That's what I said earlier, is you got to bring it to your reality, because people that go into that situation, I'm not saying that they're allowing this person to control them. They're just not identifying that they have the authority to not allow that to happen.
Right.
Like you said earlier. I'm just telling you that in a different way.
It's a meaty topic.
I agree.
We can dive much deeper into it. I think awareness, again, is the number one step. Mm-hmm. Realizing that you always have had the control. You're not giving anybody any control, and they do not have the ability to make you feel some emotion. It is your perspective. It is your beliefs about the situation that's going on. And those would be the first two things that I would do is, number one, become aware that you have an emotional change. Number two, ask the question, why did this trigger this emotion for me?
Right.
And number three, is it my emotion because I've found some historical trigger point, or is it that I am feeling somebody else's emotion, and what do I do with that? But be very careful with number three, because you don't want to give yourself a place of distracting you from being fully accountable for things, because people do not do things to us.
Right. I agree.
Life doesn't do things to us.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. But anyway, hey, I hope that answered your question out there. Thank you for the comment, by the way. And anybody that wants us to talk about something, please leave us a comment. And if this didn't answer your question, leave us another comment.
Absolutely.
And,
we love it.
Or if you can, if you'd like to, we Jenny and I have started a Q&A, open forum conversation through a Zoom meeting. So we'll actually limit the amount of people in there.
Yeah, it's a live event.
It's a live event, and you'll be able to get tickets through Eventbrite. And those will be open to the public tomorrow to buy.
Is that the only place, or can you get them on the website as well?
You can get them on our website, but I've got to change that one, so I wasn't going to plug that.
Oh.
But I have to fix it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
So what we do is we essentially will take this topic, we'll dive deeper into it, and if there's people that want to come forward and us work on their particular situation live, so that they can get the one-on-one experience, but then everybody else can learn from them. We love that even more.
Yeah, I agree.
Because what I'll do too energetically is I'll be providing some remote clearing to help clear some of the beliefs and some of the person's garbage out of the way.
And I can do a lot of it, the other aura reading through the camera as well. And
those clearings that I do, anybody, when they listen to the information that's being shared, and even the repeat or the recorded, that still is an energy that's active. And all you have to do is just say to yourself or whatever, yes, I want to participate in the clearing of anything that is specific to me for my highest and best good. And then the clearing will take place for whoever wants to participate.
Yes, totally.
And it just clears the
Anyway, we're going to start
garbage.
We're going to start doing that next Wednesday, the 20th. Be paying attention on Eventbrite, and there'll be a link that I will put on here. Or let's see here, you'll have to get them on the website because I don't have the link yet. And you're going to upload this today, or when are you going to upload this? Thursday?
This one will probably go up Thursday.
Okay, this will go up Thursday. So
that'll go up today.
Okay.
Because I was out of pocket yesterday. And so this one I'll put in the queue to go up on Thursday. So you should have the link by then.
Okay, yeah, I'll do the link in the morning. Okay. And so the 20th, and we'll probably do it about 7 p.m. Central Time right now.
Yeah.
And then once we get back to Florida, we'll probably move that into a different time zone because we have people overseas that are wanting to join us. And when you live in Australia, 7 o'clock in the morning here is about 3 o'clock in the morning there. Or 7 o'clock in the evening here is 3 o'clock in the morning there.
Right.
So anyway, if you like to join us, then just pay attention to the links on the bottom of this podcast on all of the stations.
Yeah.
And those tickets will be through Eventbrite tomorrow.
Perfect.
Anyway, don't forget to check out the website, www.themerckcenters.org, and go in and put your information in and subscribe. You'll get a form that'll be sent to you. It'll ask you what you want to participate in. It'll ask you if you want to have the blog sent to you, if you want the podcast alerts, if you want any of our schedule changes, any of that stuff. It will ask you all of those things. And if you got any question, there's on the bottom right-hand side of the website is a chatbot. That is AI, just so you guys know you're not speaking directly to us. But if you have any questions, you can type it directly in there. Just pay no mind to what it says. Just type a question in there, and it'll send it to my phone.
Right.
And so I can actually, Jenny or I, one of the two, will answer your questions.
Yeah, that's the point of AI is that, there's only two of us trying to navigate all these different modalities. And sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of help.
Yeah.
And so this is a way that we can capture any of that communication.
For sure.
In a little bit easier and more efficient way so we don't miss anything.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow, and share this, guys. And really, seriously, all you got to do is hit the little share button, and you can send it to your Facebook page, your Instagram page, whatever. If there's something in there that resonates with you that you think somebody in your friends list would enjoy, please go ahead, share it, reach it out. We're downloaded in 43 countries now.
Yeah.
And so,
we don't charge for this right now. But we having those follows, those likes, those shares, they all help the existence of the algorithm and growing this to a point to where we can continue to
provide content,
keep the lights on.
That's for
provide
sure.
content, because there are some things we have to pay for. Buzzsprout's not free.
No.
The different places where we have to take this and actually
the software is not free.
Right. You got to take this stuff and put it into a usable format to get it out there into the podcast system.
For sure.
And some of that stuff's not free.
Nope. A lot of it's not free. None of it's free, actually.
Yeah. Any monetary participation is gratefully appreciated.
For sure.
Because it helps us keep the lights on, and it helps us, allows us to keep offering free content.
Yep.
But we're past our time.
We are.
Bell's going off.
All right, guys. Hey, don't forget to like, follow, and share. And don't forget to
ring that bell.
Hey, we really hope you all have one awesome day.
Love ya.